episode 5 of The Last Resort. And things really did turn up. Turn up so much that things got slightly violent. But not only did they get slightly violent, they also exposed people for literally just being petty haters. But not only did he expose people for being petty haters, it also exposed a certain cast member who's currently going through a divorce situation at this moment in time. So let's not waste any more time and let's dive into this one here. So let's get crack-a-lacking.
Guillermo, do you know how divorce works here? Collect 50% of that money. Help him figure out how to get her to stop, because that's what seems like.
We're trying to figure out how to help him fix the relationship.
But it's
Let that line sink in. Let that response sink in. We're trying to figure out how to save the relationship. Now that's a lovely line. Meanwhile, Patrick is doing what? He's trying to figure a way to help Cara stop from being an OF girl. So he can have her in the palm of his hands. So he can control her. That's not healthy. Far from it. And let's call it what it is. Even if he was to use divorce as a weapon. Divorce as a weapon in terms of the fact that he's going to take half of her assets. Even if she was to say, okay, I'll stop the OF stuff because I don't want that. Does that mean that would lead them in a path of an actual healthy relationship moving forward, knowing that he had to do something unnecessarily to get her attention? No, it wouldn't, Patrick. It would make things worse. And something I want you to notice, ladies and gentlemen, is that Patrick is a massive theme so far when it comes to problems of this season. The guy loves to get involved in everybody else's business. He's a bit like Jovi, the one that likes to say things and then stays quiet and disappears a little bit. A bit like Courtney was in Hunt for Love, always in everybody's business and always said things that people wanted to hear because she just wanted to know everybody's gossip. So that's why Rebecca's response was beautiful, because she's simply saying that we're trying to help him find a way to resolve this, so therefore they can move on in a healthy way. And I must say this though, Patrick is an embarrassment to the male species, because usually when it comes to finding a solution to make things better, usually that's where men strive quite a bit. Okay? But he's obviously letting us down.
It's my divorce. There was pretty clear laws on how community property works and how income works. And
Right, but we're not talking about that stuff.
I didn't have a choice.
You always take.
I didn't have a choice. Nobody's talking about you. This Cara's relationship with G has nothing to do with you. Stop projecting your BS past and also projecting your current situation. Now, I want to show you something, folks. As he was talking, can I get this clip of this woman real quick?
We're not talking about that stuff.
I didn't have a choice.
You always.
Thais was there the whole time and listening, and we know right now what is happening, folks. Patrick and Thais are going through a divorce. Yes, a divorce that has been filed by Patrick, and also for sole custody of their child as well. So I'm pretty sure she's listening and thinking, okay, interesting. So is this what you're going to try and do to me if we end up getting divorced? Because at the time, she didn't know that was going to happen, right? Interesting. But the thing is, though, what Patrick is forgetting is that, you see, when he was married to whoever he was married to before and that relation didn't work out, a child was not involved, which can always make a difference sometimes when it comes to divorces. And what he's not understanding is that there's a child involved between G and Cara. So it's not that. So it's this. So if G was to put Cara out by taking half her assets, he's also doing the same thing to his child. Is G the kind of man to do that to his child, Patrick? But then that makes me wonder: is Patrick the kind of person to do this to his own child as well? Then again, we are witnessing right now that he is having sole custody. He wants to have sole custody of the child. So it makes you wonder: is it because he's the more active parent? Or is it because he wants sole custody, so therefore he can weaponize his child against his own potential future ex-wife? Because clearly for him, weaponizing things is his angle, rather than finding solutions that are healthy. And also based on the arrest that Thais went through, it was very clear based on what she said. I don't know if it's a fact, but she said that he called the police the same day she was meant to fly to Brazil with their daughter because that was already planned. But he stopped it. Now, of course, there is people's thoughts saying that, well, clearly he stopped it because she was about to run away with the child. Who knows? Maybe that was true. We don't know. But the fact is, though, he used the authorities to control Thais and his daughter. Tells you a lot about this person's character. But let's continue, folks.
Just take it back to money, though. You're like,
Yeah.
money.
You guys are the ones that started with the whole money thing at dinner. I mean,
Point, nothing shocks me that Patrick says, but even this is a little bit low for him to tell Guillermo, hey, just so you know, you're entitled to 50% of Kara's money.
Very low. Now, of course, if there was a context that made it make sense, different conversation. But this context doesn't make sense any shape or form for him to do this, for him to say this.
Like Patrick is afraid that Thais is going to take half of everything he owns. You're going to ask her to stop doing that. What can you do? What do you have to offer her?
First and foremost, let me correct that statement now. If you're going to ask Kara to stop doing OF, how are you then going to help her provide for your child? That is the correct question. But Kara says she does OF because it's the best way for her to provide for her lifestyle as well as their child. That's what she says. Okay? Doesn't mean it's the right decision. But either way, though, somebody else did point out, I think it was Shekinah in an episode or two, she said, well, if G was actually helping Kara financially, well, then maybe she wouldn't be in this position. And this is why Patrick is now saying, oh, so does that mean women can be bought? When the whole point is going over his head. The point is that Kara is obviously somebody, as we know, has this dream of being a musician, but also, and which obviously needs a lot of money, but also on top of that, she's still a mother. And also, it has been reported that G only sees his child once a week. So therefore, if she has their child, their son, 6 days of the week, obviously it's going to cost expenses. But still, does it mean that she should be OF? Not necessarily. It means that she can still go on and do other things. But either way, though, the real question here is, if she was to quit that, how are you going to help support her, support your child? That is the question. Because unfortunately, there are so many women in this world, to be fair, let me change that statement. There are so many single parents in this world, regardless of the gender, what that single parent is, who has to do it all by themselves because the other person isn't pulling the slack or the other person has just disappeared completely.
Kind of like blackmail. If I don't give Kara a lot of money, she's gonna continue selling pictures of herself online, which is up. And the thing is that the kind of money that she's asking, I don't even make that.
The funny thing about it is that he said blackmail, and then he also said the kind of money she's asking for. But here's the question. But here's the fun fact, folks. Does anybody remember Kara actually ever asking him for a single penny? It was Shekinah that brought it up about asking for money. It was Patrick that's also now brought it up. Then it's Rebecca that's brought it up. But Kara never once said anything about asking him money. She said, I do what I gotta do because he can't provide, and that's it. So I don't know where the blackmail is here. If there was going to be any form of blackmail, it would be based on the fact that you listen to Patrick's advice. That would be more of a blackmail situation. But right now, that isn't the situation. I like the way people are putting words in people's mouths that didn't happen. Think I didn't catch that, G? Come on now. The woman hasn't asked you for anything. Everybody else is saying X, Y, Z.
So honestly, really hard to think about how best to protect your child and also how best to provide for your child. Being a single parent is really hard.
But you're not the only single parent in this world, Kara. And not every single parent in this world has to go and, sell images or videos of themselves online. There are many, 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 many single parents who find a way to make it work in ways that doesn't necessarily involve potentially embarrassing their child in the future. And we've also, well, maybe we haven't, but many of us have seen the film Pursuit of Happiness. A single dad, homeless. But he found a way to finally put food on the table for him and his son. It's a possible thing. And then also on top of that, I know for a fact there are single mums watching me right now, single parents watching me right now, who have been through it, but still found a way. I've known single mums, single parents, who've been through it, but still found a way. And they don't have to do something they don't have to go to the depth that you went to. But hey, look at the bright side. At least what she's doing isn't illegal. You should understand. It's not like she's selling things that she shouldn't be selling. So we can at least respect that.
I don't. Right now, it's not worth risking instability for my son. So, I mean, Guillermo and I are in a tough spot, but I'm just really hopeful that we can reach a compromise in terms of the photos.
I do like that. I do like what she said. I hope that we can find a compromise at some point. Again, this is not her asking for anything, just saying that hopefully we can come to a form of a compromise. What that is, I don't know, but hopefully it comes to it. I like that. What do you think of that? Give me your thoughts on that, please. Give me your thoughts on everything so far. But this is where things get quite interesting. Now, remember before, last week or the week before, my apologies, G said that he is embarrassed that, sorry, he is disappointed and doesn't like the fact that Kara is the mother of his child simply because of what she does to provide, yes? He says that in one breath, but now all of a sudden...
Guillermo, when we go out, I don't know what I'm going to get. It's cold and very distant. And then other times, he's like so warm. I love it! I'm so sexy! And I'm like, oh my God, this is the person that I really like love. And I think that made us fall in love with each other, is that warm side.
Interesting. What's going on here? I thought you couldn't stand this woman. I thought this woman was a disappointment to you. I wouldn't be giving someone a time of day who I deem somebody that pretty much flat out said that I regret having a child with because of what they do. Or maybe I'm just being a little bit picky here, folks. Let me know your thoughts on that one. All I'm saying is if I was in the same position, I definitely wouldn't want to be around a woman or anyone that I don't respect anymore. Yeah. But with that being said, though, let's move on to the next one. Now, of course, when it comes to Patrick is always still getting involved in anything and everything. Now, but this one here, though, is about Rebecca and Sarper. Now, Sumit did not realize that telling Rebecca that Sarper was making jokes about her, friendly jokes, if they're light-hearted jokes, if anything, depending on how you want to see it. Were they funny? To me, not necessarily. But Sumit forgot that Rebecca doesn't like Sarper, so he ends up snitching without realizing that he's snitching.
Just
Your poor husband, like under the ground or something, buried, something like that.
Sounds like talking to me.
Yep.
See, Patrick's getting involved. He's getting involved. He's already stirring the pot by saying, look, yeah, Sarper definitely was talking shit about you. Mm-hmm.
He was keep his, make sure his ears fit in the hole.
Probably to like chop them off so the coffin can show.
Yeah.
And also takes no shame in also adding to the jokes that Rebecca's now making about Sarper. Patrick. But Thais had the audacity to say, apparently, Patrick really wants to be friends with Sarper. But yeah, he's taking digs about him. But listen, we're not here for that. We're here for Rebecca. I want to know from you folks if you think Rebecca's being petty, but let's dive into it.
So according to him, you literally didn't stop saying my name the entire time in the exercise class.
Oh, that joke.
So tell me the jokes. Let's see if they're funny.
You said that you got married 4 times, 5 times, but that's a joke,
Okay.
But that's a joke,
Okay.
And probably they are in the graveyards. She buried them.
Oh, your ego. So because I told you to shut up, you chose to make the entire class about me.
Not the entire.
The way Rebecca fully believes that Sarper made this whole thing about her is, well, they had a class, right? Dance class. And when they were talking about many different things. But she's obviously now taken as if the whole thing was all about her. Oh boy.
Class about
That's just what I heard. Gonna ruin everything. I'm gonna video him. Like, that's cool. I've never seen Ziad play bongo drums. Are you kidding me? And the Sarper's gotta upstage Ziad and jump up on the bar.
And now she thinks that Sarper's gone out of his way to sabotage Ziad's performance with the drums when he's literally just enjoying himself and just, having some fun. You know what though? The level of petty hate here is hilarious. It's not the same, but it's reminding me of Superman. If anyone's seen the most recent Superman that is done by David Coswett, and obviously Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor, you will know that his character as Lex Luthor is the most pettiest hater of all time. The way he hates Superman is just diabolical. It's like, bro, let it go. And the way she's behaving is literally similar, like, but not to the same lengths. You know what I mean? But it's not that deep, but let's get deep.
I want to punch him because he's a dick. It just gives me the ick.
Don't joke about
Let's just go back to her face real quick. It just gives me the ick. You see that face? She gives me the ick. Just gives me the ick. Lady, calm down. Calm down. How are you letting another human being affect you this bad? Let it go. But listen. Let's continue. It only gets worse and funnier.
Don't joke about my wife again. Please, I'm sorry, I understand.
So again, he's apologized to you. Did he apologize to me?
No.
Now, this is a very key point to point out, because there was an episode prior as well where Sarper also upset Rebecca, and instead of apologizing directly to her, he apologized to Ziad, and she's not been happy about that, because at the end of the day, she's the one that is being insulted, therefore he should be apologizing to her, which does make all the sense in the world. And I have always said that Sarper isn't somebody that, in my opinion, really respects women like that, to be honest with you. The way he talks about women, the way he says certain things, tells me a lot about somebody's character. In fact, let me give you guys an example, okay? A two-way example. If you are ever in a relationship, right, with if you are a woman and you're ever in a relationship with a guy, or courting a guy, whatever, getting to know a guy, pay attention to how he talks about women. If he talks about women in ways that is deemed disrespectful, with maybe the words he uses, like, for example, if he says, yeah, I used to be with this one woman, and you know what, she was actually a total bitch, or you know what, though, I was with this woman and then I found out that she had an affair, so, you know, really and truly, she's actually a SLUT or whatever, right? Understand, any man that is in a position that is comfortable to label women any kind of name that shouldn't be labeled, I'm telling you now, his respect for women is very, very, very low. And now let's flip the situation on the other hand. If you are a man and you're dealing with a woman, and anytime she tells you a story about any one of her exes or any guy that she's had a date with, whatever, pay attention to how she words herself. She words herself in ways where, now with women it's a bit more tricky, you see, because women don't necessarily say words that are insulting, but they will tell you a story where they are the person in the right and that person did them dirty. So pay attention to those, because trust me when I tell you, when something happens, there is always two people involved, and when there's two people involved, well, guess what? Both of them are going to have a fault in it a lot of the time. But if you're dealing with somebody, if you're dealing with women, and each time she tells a story about any guy she's been with, she's always the victim, trust me when I tell you, you need to run. Okay? Trust me, because it tells you a lot about the fact that accountability is not her friend. Do you see what I'm saying? So therefore, she probably doesn't respect men neither as well, because everything in her eyes is all men's fault. So again, I've given you guys two sides of it, both from the women's, both from the men's. Please pay attention to what I'm telling you and use this to navigate your next relationships. I promise you now, if you do this, you will start to recognize who to not waste your time with and who to give your time to. Do you see what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that will stay with somebody who literally speaks about the other gender in ways that they shouldn't be, and you let it slide because you're attracted to that person. And then all of a sudden, you're now on the end of that person calling you a bitch or some insulting word. Or you're now that person added to the story of, yeah, he did all these things to me. As if she didn't do anything wrong neither. Pay attention, folks. Come on now. But let's continue.
Sorry. Hey, bro, you need to talk to her. Sorry, not me. I shouldn't do that. If you would be there, I would do that. Because you cannot defend yourself, or he was not there to defend you. I'm so sorry.
Here to fix my relationship.
So Sarper apologized. He apologized to Rebecca because Zia told him to, and I like that. He stood up for his woman. Every woman deserves a man that's gonna stand up for them. Okay? Even when you're wrong, you want somebody really and truly to stand up for you in public, but then after you bounce, they need to hold you accountable. You know, I would happily stand for a woman in public, you know, even if I know she's bloody wrong. Unless she's like way so wrong that I just have to like say, hey. But when you walk away, that's when you say, hey, can we not da-da-da-da-da? You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying Rebecca was wrong in the situation. I'm just saying in general, but let's continue.
relationship with Sarper. I'm here to fix it with Ziad. So I'm going to take the apology and let it go, even if it's not real. The one thing
You know what's funny? She said even if the apology isn't real, right? But here's the funny part. After watching Between the Sheets, obviously the show that they do straight after, this is what Rebecca then had to also add to the conversation.
I was kind of annoyed that he apologized because I was ready to go off on him. And he apologized. I did a third drink in his face. I wanted to do that so bad.
This woman is just so angry for the sake of being angry. So the question is here, folks. Do you think Rebecca went a bit too far? Do you think that she took things a bit too personal when she really didn't need to? Do you think that she was just waiting for any reason possible to just want to dislike Sarper so she can just come at him? Or do you think that all of her actions were completely justified? Justified. But now we're going to move on to the last one, and this is where all the drama happened. This is where we speak about Shekinah and Thais. Whew. Now remember, folks, recently Thais was arrested for what? Domestic battery. Why? Because she slapped the hell out of Patrick's face, so much to the point he has scratches, so therefore they had to arrest her, right? Well, now we're about to encounter something interesting. Now bear in mind, the first two videos, Patrick always has something to say. Well, guess what, folks? Patrick continues to be the theme of this video because, again, he's also the beginning of this problem as well.
Yeah.
I heard that you were talking so much on Rebecca. It was like,
Just stop talking about it. We're gonna just let it go. It's ruining his night, so just stop talking about it.
Did he have to come up there and, mention the whole Rebecca thing, even though the Rebecca thing had now been squashed and Sarper had apologized? No. But Patrick loves to just make problems.
I'm really getting sick of Patrick. He's trying to start again about the boot laugh when everyone is just trying to move on.
Kara basically saying like, hey, if Guillermo could make the same amount of money that I make online, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, she never said that. But again, though, you see what he's doing? He comes over there, meddling, talking the whole situation with Sarper and Rebecca, even though it's over. Then that doesn't work out. What does he do? He progresses to the next conversation. Hey, yeah, whoa, there's a fly in here. I don't like flies. So like I was saying before I was really interrupted. Yeah. What's going to say? Oh, yes. I do apologize. But now he's bringing back up the conversation with Kara and G. Even though him and Sarper already had this conversation earlier on in the episode, which I've already shown you guys anyway. Patrick is nothing but a nuisance.
What's that mean?
Makes perfect sense because she
Make the same amount of money that I make online, I would.
Oh, my apologies. I forgot. Let me go back because I remember there's something else that he says here too that obviously Kara never said.
Saying like, hey, if Guillermo could make the same amount of money that I make online, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Right.
She never said that. Never said that. Literally, that's what Patrick said. And then she joked about it. And then G stood up and walked away because he was upset with the fact that she was joking about it. This woman has never asked this. She's never said anything to this man in any shape or form that involves her asking him for money. So therefore, she can be OF. And the thing is well, folks, the very key thing we have to remember here. Now, this is probably one of the reasons why Kara hasn't bothered asking him about the money or asking him to, give her money so therefore she's OF. Because she knows that, guess what, folks? G doesn't even work. Did we forget? Remember on the last time we saw these two on Happily Ever After? Remember the first thing that we saw was him quitting his job again. And the whole season was based on him quitting job after job after job because he's still looking for his dream job. And that was something that was taking a strain on their relationship and something that was putting a financial burden on Kara even more. Did we forget that? So why would Kara want to ask? Why would she bother even thinking to ask him for money if she's knows that this guy is in and out of work like there's no tomorrow? She knows that the money that comes from him anyway wouldn't be sustainable, but she doesn't know whether or not he's going to be working or not working. Oh, Patrick's out here talking, but he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
What's that mean?
makes perfect sense because she
Make the same amount of money that I make online, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Right.
What's that mean?
makes perfect sense because she wouldn't need to do that to maintain her lifestyle if her husband couldn't afford to give that to her.
And that's-
That was all.
Again, I don't know why these two are talking about conversation that never happened between G or Cara, but anyway, we'll continue.
On a deeper level than you actually do.
He's not rich in America.
He makes
I'm
a
not-
lot of money.
not today,
That's
she's 32.
why I'm
I'm not
listening.
listening.
Why are you always talking about money?
You're picking on him.
I can't.
And then Thais gets involved and says you're picking on him, but obviously we know Thais doesn't like Shekinah, you see. But I want to know something. Where is Shekinah picking on him? Because he's the one that sat down and he's the one that brought up the conversation about two people that aren't even at the table. He came to Shekinah to talk about Cara. Cara ain't even there. He came to the table to talk about G. G isn't even there. These two are having a conversation about two people that aren't even there, but because Patrick's the one that started it, but all of a sudden now, Shekinah's picking on him. Fascinating.
You are. If it's someone else
Get your husband. He's the one talking to my husband about money and telling this girl's husband. He told your husband to not worry. You're making a lot of.
I gotta stop you right there. But you see, Cara now enters the chat. Shekinah was about to now tell Cara what Patrick told G. And what does Thais do?
Money doing
He
what you're
wasn't
doing
saying that
online.
all the way.
Please
You
let
know
me
that.
finish.
You were
Please let me
trying.
finish. You shut your mouth. Okay, get her the out of here. I was just talking to you.
Yes, you
You
were.
talk to me. Talk to me, bitch. Hey, you better talk to me like.
Why didn't you let her finish? Why didn't you let her snitch? It's crazy though, but Thais was there literally losing her cool over a man that now... I don't like flies. I'm sorry, guys. My attention span goes places. But either way, though, you were defending a man that is now trying to divorce you. A man that pretty much got you arrested. Stopped you from going to Brazil. Because apparently you was looking to flee to Brazil with your child and not come back.
Like that. Bitch almost hit me. Yes, you are, bitch. You're out of here.
Come on, let's talk. Let's talk.
You almost got Go back to your country. You suck.
I gotta say though, Paula's face was different. You know when she says it, look at Paula's.
Go back to your country. You suck.
Damn, Paula was like, this, what? Let me listen. Don't make me do my wrestling moves on you now. I will suplex you. What? I will pick you up and give you what? Now listen. Let me ask you guys. Let me ask you folks a lovely question here. No, well, a question here. Do you think Thais was right to lash out at Shekinah, both attacking her in terms of saying that she's a bully or whatever the hell she's saying, as well as also now being violent with it? Now the question is this: do you think Thais is somebody that generally is a violent person? Because it seems to me that being violent was something that came very comfortable to her. And also it tells me that maybe her relationship with Patrick over the years has consisted of maybe violence here and there sometimes between the two. And that's why maybe Patrick knew. He knew that he could trigger her and get his phone ready to record her, because he knew that she was going to hit him, because that's what she does anyway. For me personally, there is no defending somebody when they are violent. But here's the question though. Do you think? Do you believe? Do you know? Your thoughts regarding Shekinah's comments. Go back to your country. Now the topic itself here is simple. Was she being racist? That is the key question. I want to know your thoughts on that one. I want to know your thoughts on that one. Okay. What an explosive episode.
Go back to your country. Not to me. I'm leaving. You don't have to. Let's leave.
Of course you want to leave. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Stay here.
Okay.
Just say all of you.
Now I will say this. Shekinah didn't want to leave for the reasons that I'm going to say. She was right to leave because things were definitely going to get worse, but that's not why she left. Who knows why she left? But she was right to leave because really and truly, you don't want the situation to escalate any further. Any further in any shape or form. But you know what the funny thing is though, folks? This really exposes how weak Patrick is. Because you see, Patrick is the one that came in and started this whole situation. But now he's seen that his wife is getting into an altercation Do you know what a real man does? A leader does? He will pull his wife in the situation. You say, no, hold on a minute. We're not doing this. We're not going to get into an altercation here. He would pull her away himself and calm her the F down. But nah. Can anybody tell me where Patrick is right now? Oh, my bad. Can anybody tell me where Patrick is right now? Because I don't see him. I mean, is he here? Oh, he's there. He's sitting down. Hold on a minute.
I'm leaving. No, let's leave.
Of course you want to leave. Let's talk. Let's talk.
I don't see Patrick trying to do anything in any shape or form to, control the situation. He's more than happy to allow his own wife to get into an altercation. I wonder how he would have reacted if Shekinah was a fighter. If she was a fighter who hit her back and then got on top of her and started giving her the smack down. I wonder if he would have still stood by, or if he would have picked her up or if he would have been like, no, this is a stop. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, because he was more than comfortable to still see his wife get involved. Oh, what a character he is. Puss.
Little popcorn at me.
She did, yeah.
Or I was gonna beat her ass.
Let's not lie now, Shekinah. You wasn't gonna do none of that stuff. That's why you got up, because you was shook. You was afraid.
I'm mad because she threw the
That's not okay.
glass to her face.
I don't give a but that's not okay.
Who are you not? Who are you?
Ooh. The question is, though, was G right to come out? The thing is, he wasn't even there to see the situation. He just heard about the comment. Now he wants to come out and I will say this: if I've left the situation and somebody comes at me, I won't be happy. So I can understand Sarper's reaction, because he's like, listen, we just want to go so we can get away from this. We want to de-escalate. We don't want to be here no more. So I can understand Sarper's frustrations, him losing his patience. And to be honest with you, did he do the right thing by pushing G away? Subjective. Because you see, when it comes to pushing somebody away, some people may deem that as violent or, whatever. But at the same time, sometimes pushing someone away is also a sign of restraint. So I'm not going to sit here and say to you folks that I believe that he was wrong for pushing him, but I'm not going to say that he was right for pushing him. This is the question for you folks. Do you think Sarper was right or wrong for just saying, hey, listen, stop, like you're doing too much. I'm telling you, but you're not listening, so just back off. Was he wrong for his action? Give me your thoughts on that one, please. Give me your thoughts. And do you think G had every right to come out and now to try and find out what happened, even though these two had obviously left because they just didn't want to be in anymore?
What up? This needs to stop.
I'm the only thing. I'm already.
No.
Whew, I guess I have to wait and find out to see how that works out. But with that being said, though, thank you so much for your lovely time. I definitely look forward to reading all your comments, answering all the questions, and I hope you guys do what you do best, and that is have a good day. Even those bad days, they're good days, trust me. They're there to make you stronger. Now, with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, hype the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for your time.